Maybe you're brand new to IT, maybe you're trying to break into the industry, maybe you're a student in a program somewhere, or maybe you've already found your first job and you're looking to find your way into that first promotion. Either way, maybe I can help. In this video, I'm going to tell you 5 things that I wish somebody had told me at the beginning of my career. Hey everybody, Troy here and welcome. I'm a college professor as well as a professional IT consultant, and in the course of the last decade and a half that I've been in the industry, I've had a lot of really great people give me a lot of really great advice. In this video, I want to pay it forward a little bit by sharing 5 things that I wish I had known when I had started early in my career. Let's dive right in. Tip number 1, build a broad foundation. In IT, we do all sorts of cool and exciting things. We configure things, we connect things, we monitor things, we secure things. All of those tasks require a tremendous amount of technical skill and ability. And the technical training that it takes to do those things, well, it can't be ignored. But the reality is that IT is so much more than simply technology. Can you calculate a break-even point on a server purchase? Do you know how to run an effective meeting? Do you know how to engage and energize a team of people you're working with? There are so many ancillary skills that come into our world as IT professionals, and we need to make sure we bring those skills into our professional training. So when I say build a broad foundation, what I'm really encouraging you to do is don't forget about all those secondary skills that can help differentiate you as a professional in our industry. Augment all that technical training that you're so focused on and build those secondary skills like accounting, project management, leadership, organizational behavior, human resource management, strategic management, public speaking, even entrepreneurship. And we live in a landscape where information about all of those subjects is simply a Google search away. So for every 10 videos you're watching on how to deploy AWS or PKI or VDI or any one of those more complicated topics, watch a TED Talk on leadership. Sharpen up those project management skills. Learn how to read a balance sheet. You may not need them in your career right this second, but if you want to move further in our industry and move into positions of authority, I promise these will enter into your world. Tip number 2, focus. Don't flitter. Now, we live in an exciting age where all sorts of information is simply a Google search away. And especially in IT, there's all sorts of videos and tutorials and all sorts of incredible information just sitting there ripe, ready for us to sink our teeth into. But in IT, the landscape is vast. It's huge. There's so many segments and specializations. It's easy to spend our time learning a little bit about a lot of things while not truly becoming adept at any specific one. So my advice is be careful about how much time you spend flittering from topic to topic. Challenge yourself to put a specific destination on the map with respect to your training. Diplomas and degrees are great, but certs are excellent as well. Absolutely, spend time staying abreast of industry trends and new technologies, but when you have a particular destination, a very specific goal in mind, well, now you're moving your career forward in a very measurable way. Spend 6 months getting that foundational cert and focus your energy on that one particular goal. When you've hit that specific goal, celebrate and set another specific goal. These little milestones, they'll add up. And all sorts of doors can open along the way. Focus your time rather than flitter it. Future you will love you for it. Tip number 3, hone your people skills. The most well-rounded IT professionals I know are very strong in what we call emotional intelligence. I'm talking about things like communication skills, written, verbal, nonverbal. They know how to interact with people constructively. They're good at resolving conflicts and mediating solutions. They are excellent work colleagues and fantastic project teammates. And guess what? All of that, totally learnable. Sure, some people have personalities that are well suited to that right out of the gate, but we can watch, listen, and learn and become more emotionally intelligent. When we can get better at doing that, we can tackle technical problems with solutions that are better adapted to our environment. The faster we understand that a huge component about IT and our careers are dependent upon how we interact with people, the more successful we're going to be. Tip number 4, learn how you learn. Now, with so many things to learn in our industry, so many technical skills to acquire, so much information to process and store, well, it can be easily overwhelming. And all that stuff that I mentioned earlier about having a destination and focusing on a certification and having a goal in mind, well, one of the ways to make that more achievable is understanding how you learn. What's the best way for you personally to process information? Is it through videos like these? Do you need to write things down? Do you need to transcribe instructions? Do you need to have hands-on practical applications to try and experiment and play? The quicker you can figure out how you can best process and acquire and assemble information, the more effective you'll be when you're trying to learn something new. Now, if this is something you struggle with, fortunately, there's all sorts of resources out there at your fingertips. Do internet searches on how to improve your study habits. Find articles and guides on how to study more effectively. Ask colleagues and coworkers and friends how they process this information and see if there's any tricks that you can take from their handbook. It's absolutely worth spending some time here because you probably will get that time back 10 times, 20 times, 50 times, maybe 100 times over. And again, future you, that person's going to appreciate it. Now, finally, tip number 5. And if you're struggling, trying to find a way into the industry, or you're new to the industry and you're overwhelmed, this might just be the most important tip for you. Breathe, relax, slow down, focus. It's going to be okay. When it comes to learning IT, it is so easy to become overwhelmed by worrying about all the things that you don't know. And all that worry, well, it has a sneaky way of stalling and sabotaging our progress. Sometimes all you need to do is focus on the next mile rather than getting overwhelmed by looking at how high the mountain is. Your career in IT, it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Don't forget to take care of your health, your mental wellness, your emotional well-being. Believe me, cybersecurity, it'll be there in a year. The cloud will be there in a year. Wireless will be there in a year. Network automation, SDN, they're not going anywhere. Take a breath, plan your attack, find a healthy balance. When you're ready, all that stuff's going to be there. I promise. Those are my 5 tips, everybody. I hope you found at least some of them helpful. If there's a tip or an idea or a suggestion that you feel that I've missed, please throw it down in comments and let everybody else get the benefit of your idea. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you again soon.